Carter. Moon. Mosley.
Having established a quorum, should we do exec now? We'll go ahead and move into executive session. I make a motion that we move into executive session. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? We are now in executive session. I move that we take up Senate Bill 213. Do I have a second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. The ayes have it. The bill is before the committee. So I now move that we vote Senate Bill 213 out of committee do pass. Do I have a second?
Second.
This is the bill that we heard last week, Senator Beck's bill involving child custody and paternity actions. Any discussion? Seeing none, Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Arthur.
Aye.
Williams. Carter.
Aye.
Moon. Mosley. By your vote of 3 ayes and 0 noes, you have voted SB 213 out of committee. Do pass.
We will give Senator Moon a moment. We just voted on Senator Beck's Senate Bill 213.
Yes.
Great, thank you. Guess by your vote of 4 ayes and no noes, we have voted that out of committee to pass. I now move that we take up Senate Bill 214. Do I have a second? All those in favor say aye. All opposed say no. The ayes appear to have it. The bill is now before the committee. This is the bill that we heard last week that deals with child support for unborn children. Is there any discussion on the underlying bill? We do have a committee substitute ending in .02C, and I would move that we adopt the substitute. Do I have a second?
Question.
Sure.
What the substitute, how that varies, I'm sorry. Do we know how that, what the difference
One
is?
small change is right there.
Thank you so much.
Just change that conception to implantation in the definition of pregnancy related
Thank you so much.
Yes, 214. Just change that one word, conception to implantation. Put that in the definition of pregnancy related.
Any discussion on the substitute? Seeing none, all those in favor of adopting Senator Moon.
I just wondered, with that change in the word, what implications that might have. I just haven't thought that through all the way. What are your thoughts on that?
You know, I haven't had the chance to really talk through that with Senator Beck. So I don't know that I'm fully understanding of what that change would do either.
Yeah, okay.
Are you still comfortable moving forward?
I'd really like to talk to him first, if that's okay.
Seeing the vote count, I think
Yeah, is that already been brought before the body?
it has.
Yeah, I don't want to kill it necessarily. I just would like to have a little bit more information on, whether or not I can support that change. It sounds like it might be, but I just want to clarify some things with the sponsor.
Okay.
Is there a way to post it on the?
Let me ask Jen. I would withdraw the motion, or withdraw, I make a motion to withdraw the substitute. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Thank you.
The ayes appear to have it. So I now move that we just vote out Senate Bill 214 do pass. Do I have a second?
Second.
Please call the roll.
Arthur.
Aye.
Williams. Carter.
Aye.
Moon.
Aye.
Mosley. Sorry.
By your
By
vote.
your vote of 4 ayes and 0 noes, you have voted SB 214 out of committee. Do pass.
I now move that we take up Senate Bill 245. Do I have a second? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. The ayes have it. The bill is now before the committee. I now move that we vote Senate Bill 245 out of committee to pass. Do I have a second?
Is this with the amendment?
Just the Senate bill. Do I have a second? Second. This is the bill we heard last week, creating a fund for the Office of Public Defender. I circulated a committee substitute. I heard some concern expressed with that. Sounds like we're all open for further discussion. Maybe don't be surprised if you see it in a Senate substitute. But to keep this provision moving, I think I'll probably just vote out the Senate bill. Any other further discussion?
Yes, I have. I think this is the one that
Senator
we talked about yesterday briefly with Senator Roberts' amendment. Is that correct? Okay, so you're going to draw that back and just the bill?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, Jessica, please call the roll.
Arthur,
Aye.
Williams, Carter,
Aye.
Moon, Mosley. By your vote of 4 ayes and 0 noes, you have voted SB 245 out of committee do pass.
I make a motion that we leave executive session. Do I have a second? All those in favor say aye. All opposed? We are now out of executive session. So now we'll move into the hearing for Senate Bill 313. Senator Mosley. Whenever you're ready, please proceed. Thank you.
Hello, Committee Chair. Thank you for giving me a hearing today, and thank you, Committee. I'm Senator Angela Mosley for Senate District 13, and I will be introducing Senate Bill 313. This act requires the Department of Social Services to establish a restaurant meals program as part of the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. Under this program, households containing certain elderly, disabled, or homeless individuals shall have the option, in accordance with federal law, to redeem their SNAP benefits to private establishments that contract with the Department of to offer meals, including hot food and meals intended for immediate consumption, for eligible persons at concessional prices. This act is identical to SB 798 back in 2022. It passed the Senate last year, trying to get it across the finish line this year, and I'll take any questions.
Any questions for Senator Mosley? Seeing none, we'll take the first witness in support of Senate Bill 313.
Good afternoon, Senators. My name is Christine Woody. I am with Empower Missouri, and we organize a statewide coalition that works on food security issues. So there's just a couple points that I want to expand upon from what the Senator had said. So as she stated, this would be a program within the SNAP program, or what otherwise is sometimes known as the food stamps program. Currently, if you are on the SNAP program, you can only purchase food that is cold and unprepared, where you have to take it home to your house and prepare it. This program, the Restaurant Meals Program, is a federal state option that states can choose to accept and take part in. It would not expand the SNAP rolls. It would not expand the program. It would only be for those individuals who are already qualified and already on the program. But it would also not be for everyone on the program. As the Senator said, it would only be for individuals who are elderly, who are disabled, or are deemed homeless. And in the fiscal note in the Department of Social Services laid out how many households that would be. And then in addition to that, it's not all restaurants, so not There's no business that would be forced to be a part of this program. Restaurants can decide to be a part of the program. They have to apply to be a part of the program, and there are also stipulations that restaurants have to follow to even be able to qualify, much less continue to be in that program. Many of the states that have implemented this already do it on a smaller scale, so they don't even do it statewide. Many times they do it just in a few counties with a few restaurants to kind of get started. So this is not an expansion of the welfare program, expansion of the safety net programs. It really is there to help specific population who could really use the assistance of being able to get a hot meal that they don't have to prepare. And I will take any questions.
Thank you for your testimony. Any questions? Seeing none?
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. Please be sure to fill out a witness form. Next, witness in support of Senate Bill 313.
Madam Chair, members of the committee, my name is Jay Hardenbrook. I'm the Advocacy Director for AARP here in the state of Missouri. We're a social change organization for the 50-plus with a membership of over 700,000 in the state of Missouri alone. I feel like this legislation is relatively simple, and both the senator and Christine before me laid that out. But the point is, if you don't have a kitchen, you can't prepare yourself a meal. Likewise, we have many members who are just no longer capable of cooking those meals for themselves. So a SNAP benefit that only gets you cold, unprepared food when you don't have the ability to cook it for yourself is really of no value to these people. So I appreciate the senator for, again, sponsoring this legislation, and I hope that once again the Senate will move it through the process.
Thank you for your testimony. Any questions? Seeing none? Anyone else in support of Senate Bill 313? It's a fight. It's a fight to the table.
It is. It's a fight to support Senator Mosley's bill. So David Winton here on behalf of a few different organizations, Kids Win Missouri, the Jewish Federation of St. Louis, BJC Healthcare, and Feeding Missouri. I want to go on record in support of the legislation and thank the senator and the committee for hearing it.
Thank you for your testimony. Any questions? Thank you. Next witness.
Hello, I am Amy Quo Hammerman. I'm the state policy advocate for National Council of Jewish Women St. Louis. We are a nonprofit organization in metropolitan St. Louis, and we represent over 5,000 members and supporters throughout the state. And we focus our work on improving the quality of life and welfare for women, children, and families. And to that end, we are here in support of Senate Bill 313. I won't reiterate what the others said already, but I will note that, one, we also see a benefit to Missouri restaurant businesses, particularly family-owned restaurants, by providing additional business out in the community. And also note that unlike many other bills, this doesn't actually increase costs to our state. It just increases options for Missourians.
Thank you for your testimony. Any questions for this witness? Seeing none. Anyone else here to testify in support of Senate Bill 313?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Jeanette Mott Oxford, Public Policy and Advocacy Manager for Paraquad. We'd like to go on record in support of this bill. People with disabilities are incredibly diverse. One of the things that makes us really upset is when people think we aren't able just because we have a disability. But there are people with kinds of disabilities that make it very hard for them to prepare food. And there are people with kinds of disabilities that aren't just like even, like all month long they're the same. They have some really bad days and they have some really good days. And so this bill would be a real blessing to them. I also used to work intake at the food pantry at my church. And one of the heartbreaking things to me is that on those occasions where we had some things like frozen meat, some refrigerated items for people, that sometimes in the yard I would hear folks giving that to other folks and saying, the power's off at my house, and so this is going to go bad if I take it home. Can I give it to you instead? And so there are people who are homeless or who are sheltered, but who unfortunately go through parts of the year with their utilities disconnected because of their poverty. And this would be a blessing for them as well. So I hope that you will pass this. As Christine said before, it doesn't expand the program. It just opens up a different possibility for some people that need a different way to access food. And I'd welcome any questions that you have.
Thanks very much, Jeanette. Any questions? Thank you.
And thank you, Senator.
Anyone else here to testify in favor of Senate Bill 313?
Good afternoon, Madam Chair. Casey Nail, representing a couple organizations today, going on record in support of the bill. The first is Operation Food Search, and the second is the Missouri Association of Area Agencies on Aging, so the AAAs. So nothing else to add, but thank you all for hearing the bill and the sponsor for bringing it forward.
Thanks for your testimony. Any questions?
I have written testimony from Operation Food Search as well.
Thank you. We'll make sure everyone gets that. Come on up.
Good afternoon. Katie Gamble here on behalf of the Health Forward Foundation. I don't think there's anything I can really add at this point, but just want to go on record in support.
Thanks for your testimony. Any questions? Thank you. Anyone else? I think we have everyone in the room testifying in support. Seeing none, anyone here to testify in opposition to Senate Bill 313? Seeing none, anyone here for informational purposes only? Seeing none, Senator, any closing remarks?
Thank you for hearing my bill, and hopefully we can get this passed this year. And I guess Moon is saving all his questions for the floor.
Thank you, Senator. Having no other business come before the committee, I make a motion we adjourn. Do I have a second? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned.